and welcome to Ready, Set, Demo. Today we're going to have a little chat about how to price your classes. Now this is whether you have never done a class before and it's like, where do I start? Or, and I think this can be most of us, is if you have been running classes at the same price for many years. I want you to go back to basics and think about how you are pricing your classes. So let's go through it all. Do you ever find yourself asking, how much should I charge for my class? What if I'm charging too much or too little? Should I just copy what another demo is doing? And what do I need to include or leave out when working out the price? So if those questions sound familiar, this video is for you. We're going to cover everything you need to think about when you're pricing your classes, from those easy to miss costs to how to make sure your classes are actually profitable. So this may be a strange place to start. You may think it's a bit of a strange place to start, but I'm going to start with your why. This impacts how you charge for your events. So let's begin by thinking about your goals and why you're running classes, or why you are a Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you are hosting them for fun and friendship, in that case, you may just want to break even. Are you aiming to cover the costs and to help make your minimums so you can stay active as a demonstrator? You're definitely going to want to build in a bit of profit for your classes for that. Or are you building your dream Stampin' Up business to reach some big goals? If so, I think product-based classes are going to be your best friend. Now, I've got a whole other video for that, but stay with us because whatever your goal, it's important to start here, but I will link that video down below for you to look at afterwards. So, what about your time? I want you to think about how you value the time that you spend. We're talking about whether you're going to charge for your time designing, prepping, or teaching classes. What do you consider a fair hourly rate? Now, I'm not talking about Pinterest scrolling. It's the actual hands-on times of designing, cutting, packing, and delivering your class. If you decide your time has value, and it has, factor that into your pricing. And by the way, need help with the design bit of that? You know I've got you covered. I offer pre-designed class options to save you time, effort, and money. And the link again is below, you know it, but watch this first. So what products are you including in your class? This is something very important to consider. You have choices. Will you just cover consumables like cardstock, designer series paper, and ribbon? Or will you include a portion of the cost of the stamps and the dies that you're using? Even if you don't charge directly for bundles or for wear and tear on tools, you do need to account for them in your overall profits at the end of the year. Replacing those squished Stampin' Up blends or damaged ink pads adds up. Also include the product of your sample and display cards. Product costs for each project down to ribbon, rhinestones, and don't forget your envelopes. I also want you to remember though, because you're ordering for a class, you will earn the Stampin' rewards and demonstrator discounts for that order. And that does help offset some of those expenses we've discussed. Now let's talk about some additional costs. And these are the ones, some are big, but some are small and some count up through the year. So let's talk about those. For in-person classes, if you're not teaching at home, do you have a hall hire cost? Are you offering refreshments included in the class? Do you have to provide public liability insurance? For classes by post, you want to include your postage and packaging costs. And that, if you're sending out a lot of product, may include some sort of track delivery or insurance in case those things go astray. Very important. For all classes, you may have printing cost of printing instructions or advertising materials such as online exclusive printables and so on. Invoicing fees. These usually for things like PayPal and Square are about 1 to 2%. But take those into account because over the year, those really add up. Adhesives, if you provide them, and grid paper, and things like tissues and wipes that you might have out on the table. So the pricing breakdown. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty. Once you've listed out all of those items you want to include, let's price your class. First of all, we're going to calculate the consumable costs. So that is going to be your cardstock, your ribbon, your bling, your envelopes, your foil, your vellum. We don't do vellum, but you know what I mean. Hopefully we'll do vellum again soon. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the amount it's needed for each attendee. This is the way that I do it. So if my class calls for 4 sheets of cardstock, I will take the cost of a pack of cardstock. We're going to do this in US dollars, $14 for 24 sheets. So I'm going to take that $14, divide it by the number of sheets, 24, and multiply it by 4 for a $2.33 per person cost for that part of the consumables. Now we're going to go through all of those things for ribbon, embellishments, envelopes, and then do a total cost for the project per person. Now you'll notice I'm talking about doing this on catalogue prices, and people who know me know that I've actually in the past produced a unit cost form where you can work out the exact cost of a price. This gets more complicated if you're not in the US because we have to have the CSV conversion factor and we have to have payout factors and all sorts of things built into it. We have got taxes and other things built in. So by sticking with the catalogue price when you calculate your class price, you are building in a buffer for shipping, wastage, how many people, can I have another sheet of this, that kind of thing, and a few little extras that you may have forgotten. So now we have our total product cost for the class per person. Now you need to divide your overheads. So this is things like your hall hire, your postage, your tools, your refreshments. Divide that total cost by the expected number of attendees to get your per person overhead. Now, this is difficult when you have never run a class before, or if you're running a different sort of class and you're not really sure how many of your customers are going to turn up. So it's a bit of guesswork at the beginning, but as time goes on, and for those of you who've run classes for years, you know a ballpark number that are going to attend, and you can even go a little bit under just to make sure you're covered. So you've now got your price of the consumables, and you've got your per person overhead, where you may have included stamps and dies that you personally bought for the class as well. Add those together and you have that total cost for per person for the class. Now I want you to add your hourly rate and or your desired profit. All of those parts added together become your class fee. So you do your calculation, still not sure? If your number you come out with seems too low, the chances are you're not paying yourself. Add some more profit into there, you are absolutely worth it. If it feels too high, Remember, you can explain price changes to your customers. I have raised prices considerably twice since I've been running classes, and I didn't lose attendees. People do understand that prices go up. Within your classes, also remember to offer upgrades. I talk about this in other videos as well, particularly that with product one, which again, I'll leave down below. But if you are running a class where you're featuring a suite, for example, you can offer optional upgrades to include things like the stamp set or embellishments or some designer paper. You'll be surprised how many of your lovely customers will opt to take the upgraded, the deluxe option. So, in summary, start with your purpose. Be realistic about your time. How much is it taking you? How much are you charging for that? Track every cost to make sure that you are covering, at least you're covering your costs, and hopefully you are making a profit that is comfortable to you. Build that in so it makes it worth your while. And an important one, don't undervalue what you offer. If you are running a class, you are serving a community, whether it's a little one or a big one or a growing one. You are serving that community and giving them something that they enjoy. So do not undervalue yourself. So if you would like a printout of what I have said today, because some people, it works better to hear it and some people want it written down, then I want you to go to Ready, Set, Demo, and you will find this as a free download. It's going to be with this video and this offering, which is in the Build Your Business section. And while you're there, remember to sign up for the newsletter so you never miss a tip or a class idea again. Thanks for visiting Ready, Set, Demo today. Bye.